Martin Schwartz on bike number 5, who's recovered from his little incident in the hot pit yesterday where his transmission totally seized up and disintegrated. You got that all changed up, so that's good. 139, Lenny Hale in second position. And fresh from victory in Formula Pacific, on the pole position is bike number 3, Ricky Corey. So what do you think? I'm thinking Ricky Corey is probably going to walk away with this. What do you think?
Well, you know, I don't want to take anything away from any other riders. We have some top caliber riders all over the grid there. But I got to think Ricky Corey is going to have a real good chance to go to the front. I've heard that Dave Stanton is not heading out there, so we're going to be minus him. But look for Jason Laritzen to make some headway as he's been figuring out his bike. One board on its side. Green flag and we're racing. The whole shot is going to be Lenny Hale, but he's got Ricky Corey right there with him. Martin Schwartz, Jason Laritzen has a shot. He gets all the way up into third place by turn number 1. Jason's getting that Honda CBR 1000 RR figured out, but Martin Schwartz isn't going to give it up easy as he tries to make a move, but Jason just sweeps around the outside of turn number 2. Next rave is off, and it's going to be the 915 Evan Tresner pulling off the lead. Ricky Corey's up in front, but look at Lenny Hale going around the outside of turn 3, almost gets it done in turn 4. Ricky Corey shuts the door on him as they head up into turn number 5. Ricky Corey and Lenny Hale. Lenny said he didn't like the way that his bike was working in Formula Pacific, and he found that his hot pressure was 3 pounds too high, and he said that was causing some sliding. He's dropped that tire pressure back down where it can be, and that makes him a real contender to run up at the front. If he goes as fast as he did in the previous race with the tire pressure way off, you got to see what he's going to do when his tire pressure is correct. He's just that talented of a rider that he can get around with a mechanical mistakes. We wait for the bikes to come over the top of turn 9. This should be Ricky Corey followed by Lenny Hale, and Ricky Corey is starting to open up a little bit of a lead. Third and fourth is hotly contested as we're going to try to figure out who that is. I believe that's Jason Laritzen followed by Martin Schwartz. And indeed it is. Jason Laritzen has Martin Schwartz all over his tail section as they come through 11 right now. They're hard charging on the gas. Jason Laritzen is definitely figuring out that big bike and is becoming a force to contend with. I'm not sure if he's gotten a podium on the big bike yet, and I know this would mean a whole lot to him. Of course, Martin Schwartz is very familiar with standing on the box on all levels, all the way up to the top. Onto the front straightaway, Ricky Corey already opening up a commanding lead over Lenny Hale. But then here comes the train. It is Jason Laritzen, Martin Schwartz, 62 of Harley Barnes, 95 of Matthew Orange, Steve Metz, and then we're going to say the rest. I saw a green bike there. I don't know quite who that was. That might have been Jesus Senhuro on the 800. I believe he's running a Kawasaki green bike with big stars all over it. And now we find the novices. That's going to be 982 far out ahead. Excuse me, 952 at Peter Fry. Followed by Damian Victor and Davey Dorflinger. I had an opportunity to talk to Davey Dorflinger the other weekend, and nice guy. Reminds me of Dan Sewell a while ago. Big, muscular guy and nice as can be. Onto the back section, no change at all. You still have Martin Schwartz all over the back of Jason Laritzen. Both those bikes pulling the front wheel up as they come out of turn 6. They're just so far on the gas. Now, last I heard, Martin Schwartz was running a dead stock motor. And you were saying he had some transmission problems. What was going on there, Alan?
Yesterday he came out for one of the races. I'm not sure if it was the Formula 40 or Formula 50. And as soon as he turned into the hot pit area, the back wheel just locked up. He high-sided and threw the bike away at like 5 miles an hour. And when you looked at it, it totally destroyed the transmission. The transmission had somehow had something wrong with it. The inside was totally destroyed. So overnight, they swapped out the engine, I believe, or replaced the transmission, and he's got back out today. But that was interesting to see. I didn't actually see it in the pits, but we got the report, so that's exactly what happened. Ricky Corey coming across start-finish, a huge lead over Lenny Hale. That's only going to get larger. Can't see them making any mistakes out there. Jason Laritzen still in third. Really getting to grips with that big bike. He's learning how to ride it well. Followed by Martin Schwartz on 5. Matt Orange, Steve Metz, Jose Santoras on bike number 800. That's great to see him out there having fun. And Brendan Walsh on 98. Joy Higa coming across start finish as well. There's Ben Swiggett on 83. He's also on a CBR 1000RR. He actually had a ride on Jason's bike and said, wow, that front end is so planted. Can you do the same thing for me? Here comes Novice, and that's 815, which is Evan Tresder, who came in from third spot and take the lead. I'm going to think Davey Dorflinger, 789's right behind him, I believe. Look at that closing speed in two as he comes around the outside, trying to make it stick. I don't think it's going to work as they go into three. He's probably still a little bit behind. No, he's got the inside line. Great pass on the inside of turn number 3 on the entry. That was fantastically set up. Our leader's coming way over the hill, and it's Lenny Hale, I think, on his way down.
No change in third and fourth, but Martin Schwark is giving up nothing to Jason Laritzen, as Jason Laritzen is riding very well, but Martin is no stranger to that podium. He wants back up there. I can't imagine that he got up there without the help of Mike Canfield. Mike Canfield's been helping him for a long time, getting faster along with Ken Hill, and of course he's been doing a lot of his own business work. As Ricky Corey comes onto the front straightaway, he's got a big old gap as the cross flags come out. That means that is your first call for race number 12, Formula One, brought to you by Scuderia West. Race number 12, first call. Cross flags are out. Jason Laritzen still in third place, followed by Martin Schwartz, but look at this. Harley Barnes is getting enveloped. He's got his hands full right now, as we're going to try to find the leaders of the novice wave. Now, they've worked their way pretty well into the experts, so it's a little hard to find them, but those yellow plates sure help. You see Joy Higa coming by the line, leading Ben Swiggert. Joy is really getting comfortable with that bike. And that is the 952 up in the lead. The 952 bike of Peter Fry with a nice little lead. And I believe next that's going to be Jesus. Or it's not Jesus, excuse me, Damian Victor, followed by Davey Dorfman. Great run up front for the novices. Find the leaders coming over the top of the hill. No change up there as Ricky Corey is just setting up a clinic and smooth. Of course, dropping down to a 147.6 earlier. Lenny Hale just kind of in cruise control right now, but cruise control for Lenny Hale is somewhere in like the 149 range. Jason Laritzen has opened up a little bit of a gap on Martin Schwartz, and Martin Schwartz is about to get enveloped by the riders behind him. Not really sure what happened, if Martin had a little bit of a boggle or something, but now he's going from fighting to get a third place to fighting off people for fourth place. Martin Schwartz charging out of the S's, but he's got bikes, I believe that's Harley Barnes, all over his tail section, and Harley makes a pass on the power. I'm wondering if something is amiss with Martin's bike, if perhaps he's not getting the full power delivery, because he usually is so strong coming out of the S's. Lenny Hale in second place past the start-finish line, followed now by Jason Laritzen. And then here comes the next few bikes. Martin Schwartz loses another position on the power. So that's the 95 of Matthew Orange, followed by Harley Barnes. So Matthew made up 2 positions and got himself up into 4th position. Matthew Orange, who pulled off earlier, obviously figured out whatever was wrong with his bike, and now is contending with what's going on. But Alan, I gotta think something's wrong with Martin's bike right now.
Yeah, you never see Martin go backwards like that, so it has to be mechanical. He's a fit, great guy, so that's all I can think about. I haven't actually talked to Martin all weekend, but very, very unusual to see him like this. But great to see Jason Laritzen up there in 3rd position. Hopefully he can bring it all the way home and get that first podium on the big bike. We're still a little bit confused over our novice riders, who's actually out in front. We did think it was Evan Trester, but we maybe missed him on the way back around, so we'll keep an eye out for that the next lap. We should be coming round for, I believe, the white flag lap. And we'll give the calls as they happen. We're looking at Ricky Corey at the moment. He's coming out of, I think he's coming out, yeah, there he is, out of 12, 13, down underneath the bridge. Lenny Hale will be there in a couple of seconds, but Ricky Corey has a huge gap, absolutely huge gap over Lenny Hale at the moment, and Jason Laritzen in 3rd. Here we have the white flag out. So this is second call for race number 12, which is Formula One, sponsored by Scuderia West. This is your second call for race number 12, Formula One, sponsored by Scuderia West.
Matthew Orange is the man on the move as he's starting to reel in Jason Lauritzen, who pulls a big wheelie coming out of turn number 1. Matthew Orange has definitely figured out whatever mechanical problem he had, but I don't think he's got the distance to make it up. However, Lenny Hale is slowly being enveloped by Jason Lauritzen. Lenny Hale just seems to be in cruise control. Maybe it's just deceiving because he's such a fast rider, but it looks like he's just kind of putting around while Jason Lauritzen is charging hard. Jason may catch up to Lenny Hale before this is done and pull off a second place finish. I don't know if Lenny Hale knows that he's got Jason catching up to him, but as they're coming through turn number 6, it is Jason Lauritzen working his way up, trying to get it done. It looks like Lenny just turned the afterburners back on because he shot out of 6 like a rocket. Find our leaders, which should be Ricky Corey coming through the 11, 12, 13 section at any moment now. And there he is, Ricky Corey through 13. 2 more corners and he's got another victory on his way to another championship here. Ricky Corey's brother, of course, donated to the AFM a helicopter ride at the races at Monster Raceway, the Tuna Seiko. We very much appreciate that. I guess he took a few people up. Had an absolute great time seeing the track from above. And a big wheelie out of Ricky Corey as he takes the checkered for yet another win. That's your final call for race number 12. Race 12, Formula One, final call. As the checkered flag is flying, we're looking for our numbers 2 spot. Lenny Hale and Jason Lauritzen is making up the distance. He's not going to get it done. Lenny Hale has a foot out. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But Lenny gets second, but not by a lot as Jason Lauritzen gets, I believe, his first podium. Lenny's off in the dirt. Something's wrong with his bike. He went off on purpose in turn number 1 and is heading way out to the hole in the fence over there. So not sure what happened to Lenny's bike, but he got the race done. Jason Lauritzen with a second place finish, and that means your third place goes to, I believe, Matthew Orange, who snuck in on us and got ahead of Harley Barnes. Now we're going to try to find the leaders in our novice wave. They should be through the corner at any moment here. And I believe they're up here mixed in with some of the experts. These results are unofficial. That's going to be Peter Fry, just getting ahead of Joy Higa and Ben Swigert. We're going to try to find the other leaders as we are on final call. That's going to be Damian Victor, followed by Davey Dorflinger for second and third. Congratulations to all your finishers in race number 11. As we now move on to Formula One is often a repeat of some of the 750 races. The difference is if you're on a 252 stroke, you can run in this race.
And Axel Video, who are up here helping us with our live stream. I would like to give a big shout out to Hunter Coffin, who is an AMA Supersport racer. Hunter's actually going in for some surgery tomorrow after an accident that he had, so they'd like to wish him well, and I hope everything goes well and we see you back racing soon. That's a big shout out to Hunter Coffin, who's an AMA Supersport racer. All right, we're going to have race number 12, and they will be out on track shortly. That's the last of our riders coming across start-finish. And then I believe we've got Lenny Hale, whose bike is parked up in turn 1. Hopefully that's under power and we can get it down.